All right, this is Mr. G. This is the walkthrough of Apex 4.2.4, Solving Systems of Equations. This is the last practice assignment that we're going to have for the year, through Apex, rather. This is the last Apex assignment that we're going to have, actually, take two. Hey, what's going on? This is Mr. G. This is the walkthrough of Apex 4.2.4 practice. This unit is solving systems of equations. I'm going to walk through the practice assignment. It was due last Friday, but I had a couple emails from students asking for a little bit of help, so I'm making this walkthrough video. All right, let's start. So, your assignment. Jesse and Amir were assigned the same book to read. Jesse started reading on Saturday, and he is reading 30 pages a day. Amir didn't start until Sunday, but he's reading 35 pages a day. How many days will it take Amir to catch up to Jesse, and how many pages will they each have read? Answer the questions to solve this problem using a system of equations. So, question number one. It says, write an equation to represent the number of pages Amir has read. Use X to represent, actually, let me start using my pen. Use X to represent the number of days Amir has been reading, and then Y is going to represent the number of pages. So X is equal to days, and then Y is going to correspond to my pages. So it says write an equation. Usually when we write an equation, it is in slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. Now, my y is going to stay the same, and then my x is going to stay the same. So I'm looking for the number to represent m. In this case, m is going to represent the amount of pages. So since m is the coefficient for x, it's going to represent the number of pages he has read. And now let know for my problem, Amir didn't start until Sunday, but he's reading 35 pages per day. So a good equation for number one, y is equal to 35x. This basically means Amir reads 35 pages a day. All right, let's move on to number two. So number two says write an equation to represent the number of pages Jesse has read. Using X, the number of days Amir has been reading, write an expression to represent the number of days Jesse has been reading. Remember that Jesse started reading one day before Amir. Use this expression to write an equation for the number of pages Jesse has read. Let y represent the number of pages read. All right, so this already has a lot of information in it, so we need to break this question down and really see what it's asking. So X is going to be the number of days Amir is reading. All right, so the expression that represents the amount of days Jesse reads. So remember, Jesse started reading one day before Amir. So when we have our slope-intercept form, y is equal mx plus b. Remember, b is like our starting point, or like our y-intercepts. Since Jesse starting one day before Amir, this number is going to be 1. So the expression to represent the number of days Jesse's read is x plus 1. Jesse reads 30 pages per day, so we got y is equal to 30 pages a day, and then we got x plus 1. Now I need to distribute my 30 into both my x and my 1. 30 times x is going to give me 30x. 30 times 1 is going to give me 30. So a good equation for this, y is equal to 30x plus 30. And this is for Jesse. Number 3, it says write the system of equations using your answers from questions 1 and 2. Write your answer in the space below. So I remember that Jesse the equation for Jesse is y is equal to 30x plus 30. And I remember that Amir's equation is represented by y is equal to 35x. So this is my system of equations right here. And that's where I got y is equal to 30x plus 30, and I got y is equal to 35x. Number 4 says you will use substitution method to solve this problem. Which variable will you substitute and why? Show the equation that results from the substitution. So remember, we got y is equal to 30x plus 30, and then we got y is equal to 35x. All right, so it says which variable will we substitute for and why. Substituting for x means we're going to have to try to move this 30x to the side with the y and move the y back over here, and it's just going to be pretty complicated. But since y is equal to 30x plus 30, and then y is also equal to 35x, we can set these answers. We can substitute 35x for y. So now 35x is equal to 30x plus 30. So the equation we're taking into our next problem is y is equal to 35. So we got 35x is equal to 30x plus 30. 35x is equal to 30x plus 30. So now we need to solve the systems of equations. And then, Mr. G likes you to show your work, so let's do that. So 35x is equal to 30x plus 30. Now, I've got variable on one side, and then I got a variable and a constant on the other side. So I need to do the inverse of my first variable. So this is a positive 30x, so I need to subtract 30x from both sides. 30x minus 30x is going to cancel. 35x minus 30x is going to leave me with 5x. So 5x is equal to 30 divided by 5. Now x should equal 6. That looks a little more right. So now I can substitute x into either of my original equations to find y. I can go 30 times 6 plus 30. 30 times 6 gives me 180 plus 30, that gives me 210. So when x is 6, y is equal to 210. Now let's plug that into both equations just to be sure. So I got 35 times 6. And if I multiply these, another 5 times 6 gives me 30. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 3 is 21. So with both equations, when I plug in x, I get 210. So my solution is x being 6, and then y is 210. So we need to interpret our solution. How many days did it take to Amir to catch Jesse? And then at that time, how many pages have they read? So if my solution is 6 and then 210, that means Amir catches in 6 days, and at that time, Amir catches Jesse in 6 days. At that time, they have read 210 pages.